The world has a way of humming along, doesn't it? A steady, rhythmic drone of traffic, flickering screens, and the relentless pursuit of the next deadline. We get so caught up in the mechanics of living that we forget we are temporary residents on a planet that is groaning for its creator. But if you listen closely, past the noise of the headlines and the static of social media, there is a different sound beginning to rise. It's a frequency that the spirit recognizes even when the mind tries to dismiss it. It's the sound of a closing door. It's the quiet, heavy hush that settles over a landscape just before a massive storm breaks the horizon. We are living in an era of profound distraction, yet the signs are no longer whispering, they are shouting. For decades, the talk of the last days felt like a dusty relic of old-fashioned tent revivals, something meant to stir up emotion but lacking any real-world urgency. But look around. The world is changing at a velocity that feels unnatural. We see the moral compass of society spinning wildly, unable to find north. We see a global weariness, a sense that the structures we've built to sustain ourselves are beginning to fracture under a weight they were never meant to carry. This isn't just history repeating itself. This is the convergence of every prophetic warning given to us by the Master. Jesus didn't give us the signs of the end to make us afraid, he gave them to make us ready. He spoke of a day that would come like a thief in the night, not because he wants to catch us off guard, but because he knows the human heart tends to fall asleep when the groom is delayed. Think about the days of Noah. The people weren't necessarily doing evil things every second of the day, they were simply preoccupied. They were building, planting, and planning for a future that ignored the one who gives us breath. They mistook God's long-suffering patience for his absence. They thought the sun would always rise on their terms. And then, in a single moment, the rain began. The rapture is the ultimate expression of God's protective love. It is the great departure, the moment when the restraint is lifted and the church is pulled from the path of the coming darkness. It isn't a myth, and it isn't a scare tactic, it is a promise. It is the blessed hope that keeps a believer's head held high when the world around them is sinking into chaos. But with that hope comes a sobering reality: being religious is not the same as being ready. You can have a Bible on your nightstand and still have a heart that is far from the kingdom. You can be familiar with the theology of the end times and still be completely unprepared for the reality of them. We are seeing the love of many grow cold, just as it was written. We see a form of godliness that denies the power of a transformed life. The deception of our hour is subtle. It doesn't always ask you to hate God, it simply asks you to be indifferent to him. It asks you to stay comfortable, to stay busy, and to keep your eyes fixed on the ground rather than the sky. But the Spirit is calling for a remnant to wake up. He is calling for those who will trim their lamps and cast off the heavy sleep of this world. The transition from this life to the next will happen in the twinkling of an eye. One moment, the world will be in its usual state of frantic activity, cars on the highway, deals being closed, families sitting down to dinner, and the next, the veil will be torn. The rescue will have happened. For those who are anchored in Christ, that moment won't be one of terror, but of ultimate relief. It will be the moment faith becomes sight and the long ache of the human soul is finally satisfied. Do not let the mundane nature of today fool you into thinking that tomorrow is guaranteed. God is patient, not wanting anyone to perish, but his patience is a window, not a permanent state. Examine your heart.